sound on this one. I wonder why that sound doesn't play on this one. Guess we may never know. You can't handle the truth. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just love that intro music. I was trying my best. Anyway, remember, the computers are here to help, folks. They do such an amazing job. All right, guys, we're going to give you the date because that's what the government told me to do. Hi, Captain Crunch. We'll get that on there for you. We're going to call it January 14th. It's a Wednesday, 2026. Well, guys, thank you for being a part of the show. Second show of the year, and the great comeback. We'll call it the great coming up and the coming uppins and get my come uppins. So good stuff out there. Looks like things are moving forward in the world around us. I did name today's episode. And I ran so far away. Is that the Iran? We're doing Iran. We're gonna do Iran, guys. So, by the way, we're going to say that we want the Iranian people to protest against their government and overthrow them. Sarah Teague is here. Sarah Teague. Teague. How do I say that? It's a T-E-A, so it's T. Teague, tongue, Teague. Anyway. Sarah Teague, or Cheryl Teague. Is that how we do that? Anyway, sorry, Sarah. I'm just having fun there. I apologize if you were sensitive to that. And if you're sensitive to that, you're probably not watching the show. So we're going to go with those math attributes there. Charge to full now. Teague. I think we've done this before. Teague. All right. Yes, Sarah Teague. Teague. Hey. I don't know. That's all offensive stuff too, I guess. Anyway. All right, well, the idea that we're now talking about Iran and Iraq or whatever that we're doing over there, we're going to say Iran is the problem, but what's the government's the problem, but it's not the government, it's the people. Wait, no, the people aren't the problem, it's the terrorists that are the problem. Wait, but who's in charge is the problem? Well, maybe not. So the problem is I feel like we did regime change. We just let the people do the regime change where Trump said, hey, you guys ought to go over there and get rid of that guy, and then I'll come in and help you with your oil. Body found on Washington Beach identified as former Oregon mayor who disappeared nearly 20 years ago. Well, that sounds like a little mystery we all ought to dig our teeth into, don't you think? Not at all. I don't think so. I was just kidding. So anyway, a couple things as we go through these news articles today, guys. I am feeling a little bit better today. Trying to mitigate how much pharmaceutical chemicals I put down my neck. And to me, it's like I was refusing the Tylenol, not because I was trying to be a jerk or whatever. I just didn't want any more crap in going through my liver. I was trying to, when I was in the ICU, I was like, guys, I mean, if you're not giving me anything that reacts to the pain or helps the pain, then I don't want to take it. I said, I got enough stress on my liver as it is. And anyway, they didn't seem to understand what I was talking about because to them, they don't think of liver stress as a part of the healing process and what your body needs your liver to do so many functional things, including keep its mental state together because it is part of the brain. The second brain is your liver. Your liver does a lot of things that make you think bad things or think bad things are bad. In reality, they just have to do with your brain. Your liver doesn't have any way to communicate to the rest of your body except through what it considers to be emotion. So anyway, all right, continuing on, I just want to make sure to catch up on the different stuff. Woke doctor falters during hearing when Senator Josh Hawley asked her a simple question: can a man get pregnant? And I watched this. I didn't realize that when I was catching, I happened to catch this. Let me see if if you have the video here. It's really mind-numbing. I don't understand. Hey, Diana, good to see you. over there on Twitter. Good to see you over on Twitter. Make sure we give me a like and share. Hit that heart while you're over there, Diana. If you're just hitting the heart the whole time, that just keeps the heart pumping and keeps the popcorn popping. Maybe we'll break that algorithm over there on Twitter that I am not a bot. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this to load. Oh, we're going to wait for the commercial here. See, my problem is I don't think I'm able to get the audio to pick up off of the... Unless you guys are hearing something I'm not hearing, but I do not see this audio going out. And no, it's not going to go out. Crap. Okay. Well, anyway, this lady, I feel sorry for her in a lot of ways. And she goes, again, the reason I paused there is because I'm not sure what the goal... Hallie says, the goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant? And the Verma is her name. She looks like Indian descent, dot, not feather. I take care of people with many identities. Hallie says, can men get pregnant? Verma, many women can get pregnant. I take care of many people. Hallie, let me just remind you that you testified a month ago. Evidence should control, not politics. So, can men get pregnant? Verma, I believe that science and evidence should guide medicine. Hallie, can men get pregnant? Verma, I also believe that yes, no questions are a political tool. Hey, Marcia Enderton, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So, I was going to try to play this video audio, and obviously I'm not being able to get that picked up. So she goes on, Hallie, yes, no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This affects real people with real lives. I think you're trying to reduce the complexity. I think you're trying to reduce the complexity. Yes, I'm sorry, ma'am. Verma? What? Yes, we're trying to get down to a basic answer here. Can Jim Price, fully intact male, with outward testicles, not inward ovaries, and again, I know in the first trimester that there is a part of our bodies that it is the moment where the testosterone dumps in the body and splits half of the connections between the left and right brain, and then it causes what is then the sex organs to drop down and create the testicles, where if that during that moment the testosterone doesn't dump because it is not a male, it is a female, the ovaries then move up into position and maintain that position for their life of the babies, like the entire life of the baby till the baby dies. So the idea that this lady's doing all this is really amazing. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. Verma, I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of it. What? It's complexity of what? Can James Price, or Josh, or Hallie here, can we get all prego? I need to know next time. I don't want to get pregnant, guys. I'm not ready yet. No, I'm not. I'm trying to test your veracity as a medical professional and a scientist. Can men get pregnant? Verma, I think you're also conflating. Like, this is like the worst gaslighting try ever. It is just like, I think you're conflating. Like, or we're just using words we can make up here. Hallie, this is extraordinary. No, I'm not conflating male, female. There are two different things. Can men get pregnant? Verma, whatever her name is. What you're talking about is biological males. Well, shit. You got me in a box there, Verma. And some days, guys, a little slip a cup of coffee in the afternoon, I do understand why old men do this. There is a certain amount of just slowing down. A drink of black cup of coffee in the afternoon is worth it. Just telling you guys, we're missing so much. Get your tubes tied if you're worried about it, Diana says. Well, no, Diana, I am all natural. You're not, my body, my choice. You can't tell me my tubes tied. Hallie says, it's not hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no? Verma, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not from a place of trying to be polarizing. Howley, I'm not trying to be pleasure. I'm yelling. That's not him. He's actually kind of that cool cumber kind of guy. He's got the little, coiffed hair there. Anyway, he says, I'm not trying to be polarizing. It's extraordinary that we are in a hearing about science and about women. For the record, it is a woman who get. For the record, it is women who get pregnant, not men. Verma, I am a person of science. I am here to represent the complex experiences of women, my patients, and I don't think polarized rhetoric or questions serve that goal. Guys, this is the doctors. This is a effing doctor. This is a doctor. This is a person that could have been cutting on me in the trauma unit. This is a person that's making decisions for my life in the trauma unit. This person is a doctor who's going around prescribing medical care and people taking whatever she says as gospel. And God dang it, guys, listen, there's a lot of people out there that take whatever their doctor says. If the doctor says we're cutting your left foot off, they're like, cut the left foot off and do the right one if you need to, doc. I'll just take both of them. Oh, you want my knee? Take the knee. Put a new knee in there. Yeah, that's right. Yep, whatever you want. Don't worry about parasite loads. Don't worry about having copper in the body to actually create cartilage and also collagen. By the way, collagen and copper are one and the same. Collagen and cartilage are one and the same. Copper, collagen, kneecaps, hips. Yeah, it's a thing. What do I know? Edward says, I just applied for a duplicate birth certificate, and they had 2 gender choices. What gives? Well, Ed, they're being polarizing. Well, yeah, north-south, polarizing, right? Hallie, I'm not a polarizing. It's not a polarizing question. That there's a scientific difference between men and women. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers a variety of protections to women as women. Let me do something for you guys. Let me do this. We've all kind of seen that the French president is married to his either father or English teacher, right? We've all seen the evidence of that through Candace Owens and other things like that. Now we're seeing, like, in a lot of these, like, George Bush Sr.'s wife may or may not have been a linebacker for the Cowboys prior to them being moved to Kansas City, becoming the Chiefs. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm not kidding about the dude. I'm talking about the football team. Anyway, we're seeing a lot of this throughout history where a lot of men have jumped in the position of women. Women. The first year that Caitlyn Jenner said that he was no longer a dude and said he was a chick, you guys gave him Chick of the Year award. Now, I don't want to tell women that you really have sold yourself out for like a carnival ring or some type of a ring pop, those things you give the little kids with the lollipop on the ring. Those are big kid favorite. My kids were growing up. My kids loved the ring pops because we would get them ring pops. I would go to Sam's. I would get 2 buckets of ring pops, and I would get 2 things of cupcakes, the whipped cream, not the whipped frosting, but the whipped cream frosting, not the whipped frosting, not the whipped sugar, but the whipped cream frosting. I would get 2 things of cupcakes and 2 things of ring pops, and I would tell Jimmy or Rebecca or Braden or Carrie or Kimberly, didn't matter. Hey, you guys, whatever, give them out to your friends. I don't want any of them coming home. Tell the teacher she can have the cupcakes. Tell them they're taking the break room, whatever. I tell the teacher, hey, you can handle all the cupcakes to everybody. And, Nina, good to see you. Nina Horton, this is the OG. Listen, folks, if you want to know who OG is in the Jim Price world, thejimpriceshow.com OG, I will tell you the reverence goes to the saint over here, Nina Horton. Nina Horton is an angel, and she is probably one of the greatest patriots you guys have ever known in your life. She has amazing stories. She has written books. She has written poetry. She has written all kinds of amazing stuff. So, guys, listen, Nina Horton's out there saying, looking good, buddy. Nina, you put me to shame, sweetheart. Nina, she is doing amazing, amazing work. I missed our Christmas get-together this year. I know that you are working on your health and things of that nature. But, sweetheart, you guys want to know who the original OG, the original, this is not a stretch in terms, the original Jim Price groupie, fandom, whoever you want to think of it, guys, she gets the gold star, she gets the crown, no one's going to take Nina's place, but be her friend, clap her up, dap her up, knuckle her up, give her the high five, you guys blow up her messages, because Nina Horton, she's gold. She's gold. Sorry, guys. Sorry. She was there first. She has been my fan and been a great part of the Jim Price Show. Lovely, lovely woman. Been very super honest and authentic with me and very open-hearted. Love her family dearly, her son John and all the others over there. So thank you to all those who take care of Nina. But she lives out in West Wichita, one of the OGs, like I said, original woman, the original dogs. Here at the Jim Price Show. So, guys, thank you so much for dapping her up, telling her how lovely she is. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Her husband has passed a little while back, and he was a great musician. And her and her husband, Nina and her husband used to go, and he was in a band, not a rock and roll band. He didn't have long hair like this guy. But no, she's the original OG. So thank you, Nina. I've always called her Nina. Her family calls her Nina. But wonderful, wonderful people over there. Great stuff. She's got great grandkids. She's got a great family. I love them all. Absolutely. Karen, good to see you for being here. Marcia Enterton, thank you so much for being a part of the show. So I'm just asking real quick, women in general, listen. If you guys think that you want men to participate in women's sports, then you don't value yourself as a woman or other women in general. And the fact that we're not protecting each other, like I don't want women in men's sports. Why? It just goes to the battlefield effect. Every time a woman's on the field, on the battlefield, every time a woman's on the court, every time the woman's on a football field, the men will overprotect and not hit her as hard. They will create a more gentle, passive-aggressive form of competition with the woman because she's on the field. That is an absolute fact, hands down. The military has proven it that men will sit there and literally take and stand in front of a woman during combat to aid her without her asking, just because it's natural instinct and built in all of us. Women do need to be feminine and men do need to be masculine. When we absolutely go to our most feminine, delicate, most fragile self as a woman, when you guys become their most fragile, men become their most amazing, protective, dominant force, which allows the women to move freely, and the man allows that because he gives her protection and guidance in what she does, and the synergy, the homeostasis between a really effeminate woman who won't touch the door handle of a store until a man opens the door for her, and then she will wait for a man to open the pickle jar. As that man comes in, he opens that door, opens that pickle jar, he's in there fixing whatever, he becomes that protector, he becomes that provider, he fills his role, and she feels more effeminate, he feels more masculine, and we got more babies on that way. I'm just telling you, that's how that works. You guys feel more feminine and guys feel more masculine, there's going to be some rabbit action going on. Just saying. I know what happens. I know. I get it. But this all comes out of this article here where we've got this Verma chick who is obviously some type of a doctor who has a PhD, who has written a thesis. Someone has bothered to test her. She's gone through the school. And here we are listening to her go, I don't know why you're trying to make it so complicated. And I don't know why you're trying to make it You're making it a thing. That's gaslighting the whole way, you creep. Well, I don't know why you want to say that I want to break up, because it's really you're the reason we have to break up. It's not me breaking us up. I have to break us up because of you. Listen, broad, you want to break up, break up. Don't say it's me. And again, it's probably me because I don't like you either. Congratulations. I'm not trying to make it more complicated. You're trying to make it not your fault. This person's trying to not go on record to say, I know what a woman is or a man is. It's called a blood test. There's an X and a Y, and boy, it just real gets simple right after that. And by the way, these are spot field check tests you can do. You don't have to go to a DNA big old science lab with get the micron, the electron microscope out and do all the looking down into the creation of Earth here to see where you come in. No, it's just, are you a boy or a girl? You got a ding-a-ling and you don't. You got a hang downer or not. You got a knocker or a bell. You got the clapper or the bell. You can't, anyway. Hey, guys, and I get there are times that there are biological abnormalities. I love the English language. It's the best. There are times when people are born with both parts, but that does not mean that they are actually one thing or the other, because their blood test will tell you that. So let's all get it straight out there. Let's do better for each other. Ken Reason, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for having show. Absolutely, Ken, and thank you so much for being you, and hope your new job is treating you well. All right, so as we go down through all this stuff, by the way, have you guys gone over to, is it the Department of Labor? Is that where I saw that at? Where did I see? Oh, I see. Was it on, it's on X. I think if you go to X and you go in there and you, I think it's either the Department of Labor. They've been putting up a bunch of Q posts. Have you guys heard about this? Anybody heard about is it Department of Labor or Department of something or other is putting out Q posts like the storm is upon us and other shit? Have you guys seen this? I don't know if you guys have actually got involved in that or not, but there is actually, I wish I had it from yesterday. I was playing around with it. I thought I had shared it, but maybe I didn't. But that is kind of a crazy little thing out there. Jill Henderson, good to see you. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. What? Oh, golly, guys, I tell you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think, if I do remember right, that it's one of the departments and on Twitter, and they are putting out literally like the storm is upon us, and like, and we're doing like, I got to go find it. Is that what I got to do real quick? Can you guys find it? Is it Department of Labor? I got to spell it with a D. Department of Labor. Is that right? Labor. Is that what it is? Department of Labor? I don't know if this is it. Unlocks the next frontier. Let's see. No, is that it? Is this it? Oh, America First. Yeah. Okay, let me do this real quick. Let me show you guys on, let's see here. Let's go to here. No, let's go here. No, let's go here. Let's go there. Let's do there. This one here. No. Is that it? Okay, what's this one? Okay, so, come on, stop. Well, I can't find it. Anyway, if you go to Department of Labor, hey, March Anderson says, hey there, buddy. Oh, well, hey. Jean Ann, I good to see you. I think it's the first time you commented, Jean Ann, so I will say, hey, thank you very much for being a part of the show. And just a quick rule of the game here, we play here at the Jim Price Show. Half of your grade, yes, we do keep grades here. It's half of your grade is attendance and participation. And yes, it does go on your permanent record like your third grade attendance, like they told you back in elementary school. If you're tardy to school, it goes on your permanent record. What kind of crazy shit is that? No wonder people are psychotic. You know what? The idea that we even get through high school or get through college or get through our teens is kind of a miracle on how much stress they want to put on people. I mean, is this what we all signed up for? We all decided it's okay to just be shitty with each. It's going to go on your permanent record. if you don't eat all of your fish sticks, we'll tell the president you won't get your presidential seal of academic achievement. I used to get that every year. I thought that was kind of cool. So, Jean Ann, good to see you. So, thank you so much. And that's Principato? I hope I got that right. I do screw up names very easily. Ask Edward. No, he's my moderator over there. If you get a friend request from him, understand that we do that with everybody. Everybody should be everybody. I should have the same mutual friends with you, and you should have the same mutual friends with me. We should all be friends with each other. Anyway, going back real quick to the Department of Labor, we are going to win. That was a post put out on January 12th, just 2 days ago. Then on the same day, the January 12th, Patriots in Control, another Q post. And then another Department of Labor on January 11th. Happy Sunday, America. May God continue to shed his grace on our great nation. The Church Supper, James Barr Turnbull. It shows a great little Presbyterian-type church with the picnics and people eating lunch after church. Which, again, I don't know why we all blaze out of church to go do something somewhere else. Why aren't we just eating there? Why isn't every Sunday lunch a potluck and we're all doing our best to feed each other and do better for each other? Maybe some people that Sunday lunch, maybe they can't bring anything, and maybe you give them the best meal they have all week. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You think you can't do a little cornflake chicken? You guys ever had cornflake chicken where they do the Marge and Charlie used to do this, and then they used to always have excuse me. Wow, that didn't sound good. Sound like I had a hole in my lung. Whistle. Anyway, Charlie would make this cornflake chicken, and I don't know if I really cared about the cornflake or whatever. I always thought it was a kind of a weird deal, but he would put the chicken in whatever and then put the cornflake, roll around the cornflake, and then he would put it in a glass dish. You know, he'd do the whole chicken. He'd do the drumsticks and the thighs and the breast and the whole, that whole thing. And by the way, guys, I know that people out there care what white and dark meat is. Am I the lunatic in the room here? Just a quick raise of hands. This is I guess a nationwide poll is how we do it here. Do you guys give two shits about white or dark meat? Does it matter to you? Like, to me, I'm like, I don't care. I like the thighs. I used to buy the thighs because I always would get the thighs, a pack of thighs, because they were like per pound. You talk about a hell of a deal. You take a pack of thighs with the skin on and you put them in a glass dish with some half water about up the way, and you take a couple lemons and squeeze it over the top and put some lemon and salt and pepper, garlic, and onion on the top of that. Put that in a glass dish and put that in the oven and let that cook for, I think it was 350 for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Just let it really get in there and cook it out, and that skin would just get all tight and crunchy around the chicken. And the top would be just a little bit cooked, a little dry there, but then the water kept it kind of moist. But I'm going to ask you guys real quick. I'm asking, do you guys does it matter? Dark meat, white meat? Does it like, I'm only a white meat. I'm only dark meat. I'm like, which one's which? And to me, I never thought about it. I thought it all tastes the same to me. So anyway, Carrie Heisman says, love cornflake fried chicken. Yeah, absolutely. Used to do that gluten-free. Well, again, I don't prescribe. I mean, I know, hey, we all have our recipes, our thises and that's. We all have our druthers. But I never got the whole idea of like, save me the dark meat. And I'm like, what is that? Like, people would do that to me, and I just like, okay, what's the dark meat? Like, I don't care. Like, which one do you want? I guess the breast is the white meat. I guess legs are dark meat, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, never really thought about it. Never really hit my alarm the way I do it outside in lard in a Dutch oven. Well, there you go. It's like the hunky part of the. Oh, Edward says I like the hunky part. Well, that's just you talking about what kind of man you like, Ed. Why are you telling us you like hunky men? You're just kind of being weird here, buddy. I don't know what this hunky thing is. I haven't used the word hunky. Is it honky? I like the honky part of the meat. Are you saying honky or hunky? Is it? Am I pronouncing that wrong? Is hunky said different? Is that a U instead of an O? Edward, I think you're kind of. Anyway, dig me a hole out of this one, Edward. Are you liking hunky or honky? Just asking for a friend, buddy. But anyway, if you guys go over to Twitter, look at Department of Labor, and they have got all this Restore Americans Greatness on the 10th. Again, it's just the Statue of Liberty, which was also, we know, is a man, and we'll have that conversation later. On January 10th, the Department of Labor put out, "Our nation is worth fighting for. Hold the line," with Trump holding an umbrella, okay, a wood-handled umbrella. Then we have, there was on the 10th, the economy, the U.S. economy added 37,000 private sector jobs. So then we have on the 10th, the president of the American worker. We got a gray photo of Trump walking down the thing. Trust the plan. It was on the 8th, January 8th. The Department of Labor is putting this out. Okay, and then one of one. It shows Trump leaning over with his fists on the table. President Trump is the only president in the 21st century to ensure all net job growth goes to native-born Americans. Historic. By the way, we do have a net negative immigration right now. We are having so many people naturally leaving America. By the way, guys, I want to say this for a second. Hold on just a second here. The fake like Somali people, or the fake Democrat voters, or the fake immigration people, or the fake people using things like that. I think when we say those are immigrating, it's because the person who created the file is no longer going to continue to draw that money out of America into whatever third world country or into whatever Democrat non-government organization they were pumping the money into. Do you see what I'm saying here, folks? I think a lot of the immigration is us cleaning the rolls. And a lot of the immigration is getting rid of the fraud. Again, the immigration part is the... And by the way, another thing, too, let me end this. Stop the conversation. America is the problem. There is no due process. They're just stealing people off the street because they're brown. That was my microphone. Golly, my voice can't do it today. That was the microphone, and that was them saying that there's no due process. Do you know that there is so much due process that when they pick up the individual, not only do they have their photograph of multiples of it, and them walking around town where they've done some spot checks to make sure that they're the right person, but then they also have the court proceedings. They have the failure to appear. They actually have the judge's signature embossed and file recorded down at the county courthouse, which is local, and also at the federal courthouse, which is also local. And then they have this file, and they go find the person. Why? Because the dumbass is carrying around an Obama phone going, heck, I don't know why they're trying to deport me. I am just American. I don't... Come on. You're using the government-issued phone we gave you because you go across the border illegally. You're using an EBT card, which has a tracking mechanism that does show where you spend the money. Duh. There's all these things that you're using, and you don't even realize. It's like, hey, guys, it's probably the easiest thing on earth to track you. And by the way, they're not collecting people. Have you noticed when you're seeing them collect these people, they're not on a job site running nails. They're not on a job site pouring concrete. They're not on a job site running an end loader. They're not on a job site running a rubber tire backhoe. They're not on a job site, running a jumping jack, compacting dirt. They're not in an operating room. They're not in a CNA. No, these people are, every time you see them, you notice they're always at like their home. Have you noticed that? And by the way, the same guy who went viral during the whole early parts of the Minnesota fraud thing, with the EBT card thing. Remember a couple months ago we all got big mad about EBT? But remember that one Somali goes, you stupid white people, go to work for me. You stupid fools. You're the effing idiots. You're the problem. You're effing this and effing that. He was doing that whole thing. Well, he was the one that was involved with the Leering Center. Yeah, he's got like $12 million of our money and like in a year or something like that. So, guys, I think what we're just seeing is the evolution of us climbing the ladder out of this primordial ooze, this septic tank we've been living in for so long. And then, yes, every single rung is a hard level because it's still more shit and more shit and more shit and more shit. And you realize that you think you're moving out of the shit, and you just realize that you're just exposing how much more shit is above you. You see, that's the difference for all this. That's where we all got this wrong, is that our government itself, and again, guys, this is, hey, let's all get this straight here real quick. Jim Price is not perfect. Jim Price says things wrong, inaccurate, and tries to correct them the best he can. Okay? Not perfect. No walkie on watery. You know, when I put my finger in this coffee, it doesn't stay on the top because I can't walk on water. I can't even finger walk on water. See how that, I can't even do that, right? Second here. And I get that Trump's not perfect, or Pete Hex is not perfect, but let's all try not to lean in and be more imperfect. Let's try to work on being better and do right things and do those things. Now, a lot of stuff that I've been seeing out of Trump, I'll have a lot of people. Now, guys, again, I'm not an ass kisser for Trump. The whole way I will tell him the first day, I think you should go harder. I don't think you've gone hard enough, but I do think I see the evolution of things where we are peeling back onion peels faster than we could keep up. Really, guys, have you been able to keep up for the last year? Have you kept one story straight from the next story straight to the next story straight? And by the way, the whole lady in Minnesota that got shot in the face because she had her dog and then her girlfriend, they weren't married. By the way, that's all come out. She was never married. That girl has, I guess, between 7 and 8 different aliases and different persons committing crimes that all go back to the same person. That here's the problem. There's some reports that says she's 32 and some reports saying she's 44. And I'm not saying reports as in articles. I'm saying criminal reports, arrest records, where it has her picture, but it's a different name. She didn't really change her first name a lot. She changed her last name a ton. So there's a lot about this. And by the way, she was trained in Minnesota to be this exact crisis actor. This is all coming out as well. So Maine and Minnesota and hey, real quick, if anybody's from Kansas, remember, back in 2021, $1.5 billion was lost out of our unemployment account to Somali scammers. Not my words. Lynn Rogers, the lieutenant governor who stepped down to be treasurer to find the problem in our unemployment account, to say that 22,000 separate Somali accounts were set up to steal $1.5 billion from our unemployment account over an entire year. Oops, we lost $1.5 billion. Hey, Laura Kelly, where do you think that went, Ty Masterson? You big snake in the grass? Oh, but I'm a Republican, Jimmy. You can't say that. Bet I can. Bet I can. But I know the investment company that handled that $1.5 billion for you guys, too. And you guys, the problem is this is all right in front of you. There's nothing I'm saying about the Somali stuff and all these other things that can't be found easily with very little effort. $1.5 billion went missing in 2021, and they said it was Somali scammers. Guys, I've applied for unemployment in the state of Kansas, and literally by the time you get done, and it's like, I don't want your $400. That's the biggest pain in the ass I've ever seen, is how to get unemployment when you've lost your job. You know, you go in to apply for unemployment. I got laid off. You know, I want to apply for unemployment. Are you going to get called back? No. Why is that? Well, it's government contracts. They lay you off as soon as the contract's over. It's just part of what they do. But again, this is $1.5 billion, is 22,000 separate accounts that had to be, a job had to be found, and it had to have been lost. The person had to have called in and had interviews. You have at least 2 phone interviews. You have letters that have to be responded to. You have to set up a checking account. You have to do all this stuff, verify your social security number, verify your birth date, verify who you are. And you're telling me 22,000 separate accounts were set up and we're able to do that to steal $1.5 billion, Lynn Rogers, in the state of Kansas? And hey, you guys think something's going to happen to Minnesota? I don't know. A lot of people tell me stuff was going to happen in Kansas, and I still haven't seen that either. But anyway, guys, I do see a lot of great stuff. I love these posts that we're having from Trump. I love these Q posts out there happening. I think it's great to see that there are a lot of stirring of the stick. And by the way, guys, if you think that we're the only ones, the good guys, only know about the Q plan, there's an entire agency of people on the other side working to tear that entire plan apart. And of the 150 people who get together every year to dictate the world's course, dictate where the world is going, where we can play in the sand in the sandbox that they bother to let us have, those 150 men, guys, there's a lot of evil out there. And if you guys don't start standing up, well, they're going to do as they will, not what you want. You can create a wave. You can create a currency. You can create a value. You can create these things that you want. But if you don't try, then don't be mad when you get abused and misused, because they don't care. You're the dummy who didn't stand up. So anyway, get a chance, go over to Department of Labor. Americanism Will Prevail. That was on the January 9th. America First, another one post with Trump in it, and that one is on January 9th as well. There's a lot of these in here, just one of one. Department of Labor, January 9th, 100% of the net growth has gone to American-born workers. That is the brilliance of all this. Now, again, am I all on board that, hey, I think that Trump walks on water? No, guys, that's stupid. That goes back against every single thing I say about this show every single time I talk about it. Anyway, so just to kind of go out there when we're thinking about all this stuff, the things that were going on in Venezuela, listen, guys, it has nothing to do, listen, Trump told you why he's talking to Mexico and why he's in there trying to mess with things. Because the cartel is running the place, which is not the good cartel, not the fun-loving, let's not shoot our guns in each other's faces, not the cool ones that don't kill each other. No. Cartels are cartels, guys, and they're the ones running Mexico. They're running Central America. They're running South America. And what Trump has done is by putting the emphasis on, oh, Trump only wants the oil. Oh, Trump is in there for the fentanyl. Oh, Trump's in there because of China. Oh, Trump's in there because of Russia. China and Russia were benefiting because of the drug trade. But I will tell you right now, I don't think China and Russia are our adversaries. I think they are our adversaries, right? I think they are our allies. You know, I hate that I have to sit there and think about all these different words that everybody got. They're not our enemies. I don't think Russia and I don't think China is our enemies. I think there are neocons, people out there that think they have to have them as enemies, that they need them to be the blood enemy. Oh, it's got to be so much this. But, hey, by the way, France went over and gave a big old $100 billion hug to Ukraine. So supposedly Trudeau is giving $100 billion to Ukraine to buy EU weapons, not American weapons. Now, that whole thing with the, what is this? Supreme Court green lights lawsuit against late mail-in ballots opens door to nationwide challenge to Democrat schemes. Oh, that would be so good. I did watch or hear parts of the whole what's a woman, and the women participating in men's sports. And I will tell you right now, guys and girls, I don't give a shit if you think it's equality or where we can all get rid of genders. It doesn't work that way. I will tell you right now, and I've said this story before, but as a wrestling coach, I have watched little girls come into the wrestling programs where they wrestle boys, and they do fairly well. They get to state. They get to regionals. They go and they win certain tournaments. But I'm telling you, at that 12 to 13-year-old range, that somewhere between 10 and 13, those girls, no matter how hard they're trying, no matter how hard they're pushing, they suddenly start falling behind. Why? Well, because the boys' testosterone levels are at such a level, the risk level that he's willing to go, how hard he's willing to push his body, how hard he's willing to hurt himself has to do with the testosterone levels, where women are going through the more nurturing part of their body's developing. They're getting ready to have babies. So that 10 to 13-year-old range is when women become women, right? When they go through their cycle. And as soon as that cycle kicks in, now some girls can delay it with heavy workout, but the problem is as soon as that period hits, I'm going to tell you right now, for girls, it's a day and night effect of what they go through, and they just don't have the same snap reflexes as boys. And if you want to understand what a man and what men competition looks like, go watch wrestling. It's the season right now. If you guys want to watch some of the most amazing wrestling, go to your local high school, local junior high, find a local wrestling tournament in your area and go watch it. And it is absolutely breathtaking to see the camaraderie, the individualism, the victories, the losses, how to win, how to lose. But as a wrestling coach, I just like, guys, women, we got to protect you guys. Why do women want to get punched by a man? I don't understand. That's just really weird. It's not my thing, obviously. Riverview Comms, we're back, says, hey, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So anyway, these are just kind of some observations. Send the U.S. Marshals down and seize the ballots in Fulton County. Kick down some doors. Steve Bannon's talking about Georgia and how we should be down there just kicking in the doors and taking what is ours. And, well, absolutely, I agree with that as well. Mike Shellman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Again, the Iran, that's what I named today's episode. And I ran so far away. Is that the song, right? Iran, that whole part of it, we're doing, quote unquote, the regime change through the policies or the public opinion of Iran. Do I believe that Persians are to be celebrated in a way that will show us really what the Middle East was about back 70 years ago before America put their little pecker in the middle of it all? We should not have been in the Middle East. We should not have stuck Israel in there. That is not our business. It's not our business to protect. And we really should be walking away from that. We really should not be in that. It's none of our effing business. And by the way, I studied the Middle East quite a bit about 15, 16 years ago and the Ba'ath Party and different things like that. In fact, I had a book that I had next to my nightstand, and I would read it kind of over and over again on some stuff and trying to figure out, it's silly, the things that they're fighting about over there. But one of the problem is we made it worse by creating the countries in the way they are today. We divided up languages. We divided up religions. We divided up lineages of people. It was horrible what we did there. And Eisenhower was that guy, and he's from Kansas. What a disappointment. What an absolute disappointment Eisenhower has been. And that's sad that, yes, as a general who supposedly was down there kicking butt and taking names, really screwed up the Middle East because he had to do the bidding of Israel, and here we are now having that conversation. But I do think a lot of that stuff's going to come around. We'll see how it goes. Real quick, J.D. Vance, one of his Secret Service agents, his regulars, was willing to give up as an exact location, his itinerary, different speaking schedules, different destinations, things he was going to do, what time he leaves. During a James O'Keefe private eye cam thingy, was able to go ahead and secure the J.D. Vance's entire agenda. So, what? Are we not? I mean, these guys sign up for these jobs, and then we just, and they just out there just, it's so basic. That is so tiresome that it's like that. Those kind of people still exist. Tina Peters' appeal or arguments today in Colorado State Court to overturn conviction and sentence, by the way. That has not gone away, and the sad part of it is Tina Peters, what a wonderful lady she is, I do believe that this is going to come back in a real way to backfire on Colorado. They have not gotten out of the weeds on this, and if this keeps continuing on, and the fact that they are showing, by the way, did you know that any prisoner can be released by the warden at any time for any reason they feel. They say, oh, time served, kick her out. That is absolutely true. They're not bound. Once they are given over to the Department of Justice over custody to them, for them to serve out the sentence, it is completely up to them how long she serves. She could have been let out one day one and said, oh, good job, time served, we don't have a bed for you, move on. Happens all the time, guys. There are people that are sentenced 10, 20 years that well, we don't have a bed for you, we're just going to put you on probation. Oh, well, if you screw up, we're going to put you in jail. Do you know that, guys, that it's actually federal and state against the law to not have an available bed for every single person convicted on the books? That means probation, parole, or serving time. At the federal level, we are at 110% over convicted compared to how many beds we have. In other words, there should be 110 people kicked off of the program to be able to meet their own federal restrictions on bed count. The state level is at 300%. The state level across the country is at 300% capacity. The state law says in every single state they are required to have an available bed for every single prisoner on papers. That means probation, parole, or in custody. What do I know, guys? What do I know? They don't even follow their own rules. They don't even follow their own laws, but yet they're going to be the ones who uphold the law. The ones that are administering the law, administering the punishment. Well, anyway. Well, guys, it's been great being back. It's been a hard day back for me. I have been trying to work with my pain regulation and get better with staying away from the narcotics if possible. The sad part of it is that, yes, as much as I would like to say that I do not like drugs, I do not need drugs, I don't want drugs, blah, blah, blah. There is a time where I do understand why some of these are necessary, but I will tell you that the quote-unquote prescription pills that they've been giving me have not had the same effect as other things have. DMSO, being able to use castor oil, I use castor oil and DMSO on my belly button to help with my digestive system. I mean, these are things that you can do naturally, but there are so many things that DMSO and other herbs can do for your body that I actually felt major and great relief from that had nothing to do with opioids. And like I said before, guys, this whole trip down this pain journey that I've had with these 7 fractures, with this hole in my lung, has been an amazing. It's amazing how painful it can be. I do not wish this on. I've had broken ribs in the past from rugby. I've had some other stuff in the past from, obviously a year ago I broke a vertebrae. So it's been kind of a year for me here. I broke a vertebrae last year on January 7th, and then on January 1, I have 7 fractures. So from a calendar year, man, I really put in the work. But we'll see that we know that there's a whole new moon coming out. The Chinese zodiac of the pig, it will be coming out here as well. And if those of you who are born in 71 and 95 and those others, this is the year of the pig for you. So you'll see a difference in those things. Guys, the world is yours. Hey, good to see you, Julie. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, the world is yours. And make sure that you're living life with purpose, because when we do these things and we follow these doctors' instructions, we follow this government, we just keep saying, oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. Well, don't be surprised if they just accidentally kill you one day. And that's the sad part of it, guys. There was a lot of times I fear there are medications they put into my belly that was supposed to be some type of anticoagulant or clotting agent or whatever, and those injection spots still absolutely hurt on me today. And I will hope to say that they were putting into me what they said they were, but I do worry that they could have been putting anything into my IVs, into my body, and saying it was completely normal and everything was fine. I don't know if that's true or not. I would hope that there isn't malfeasance there, that they somehow puts vaccines or other things into me, that they said they were only giving me pain medications, and hopefully that's what they were being honest about. But anyway, so thank you guys for all the great support out there. Good to see everybody. Sarah says, I brush my teeth with baking soda and peroxide, use castor oil, DMSO for torn rotator cuff, etc. Absolutely. God gave us all we need to heal ourselves. Cloves are also good to chew on. Absolutely. I tell you, I use a sodium bicarbonate, bentonite clay, diatomaceous earth, and, I always forget the last one there. Hydroxyapatite is a 4-part toothpaste or tooth powder that I use. And I've been using it for 3 years now, and I think my teeth have been just as good as they've ever been. I've had no issues with them. The temperature control, sensitivity has gone away. But I also don't drink the sodas and all the other things that used to really damage my teeth, as well as other parts of my body. Remember, iodine is the key to starting all healing. Iodine, iodine, iodine. Lugol's iodine is amazing. It's part of the healing process. So All right, guys. It's been great seeing you guys. Lisa Fernandez, gonna say y'all what's up. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, less they do for you. Learn how to be selfless, right? Do more for others instead of selfish, like Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton. You know, the world would be a far, far better place if we were just better for each other. 8 billion people get up tomorrow and are 10% nicer. Think about how great this world would be in that moment right there. Hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in. We will win. I promise you, I promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember the Constitution? That limits your government, but never limits you. Understand what your authority is and say no more often. I'm telling you guys right now, that is what scares them when you guys realize that liberty is created in the mind through authenticity, and when you have liberty, your body then moves freely, and they can't control you. And they may come in and grab you, and they may put you in a little concrete cube. They may put a bullet in your head. But as long as you're being authentic and being the best you can be, they can never control you, honestly, unless they're willing to kill you, and then that's on them as being killers. So sad part of it is they don't really like being called killers, even though they do it quite often, and they do it very easily. But sometimes they accidentally act like they have a conscience. All right, guys, good seeing you guys. Good questions, good comments, good stuff out there. Awesome to see you guys. I'm going to get out of here. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys will be good to each other.